Hello, welcome to My Life on Paper, where paper and pictures tell my story. I am Brianna, and welcome to the first day of the month. So it's Stick It Down. It is a Facebook and Instagram. I will have it linked below. And here is the double page layout that is by Bethany. I'm sorry, it's a sketch, and I will be doing a layout from Bethany's sketch. I will have the Stick It Down to Facebook group as well as Instagram linked below. And if you put your take on the sketch, in the album on Facebook, you can have a chance to be a guest designer for the following month. And there's not only 2-page sketch, but there's a 1-page sketch as well as a card sketch. So I've got photos of myself and my husband on the 3rd of July last year. We went to see a minor league baseball team that is near us, and there was fireworks. So these are all the pictures that we took. Actually, there's more fireworks pictures, but these were the best of them. And then I also have printables from Scrap-A-Sketch, and I will have that listed below as well. It is the 4th of July collection. I didn't use the papers. There is papers included in that collection, but I did go into my stash and found these two navy backgrounds with stars. So I trimmed that down 10 inches by 11 inches. I've got my white cardstock behind that. And then I cut out all these printables. The firework pattern paper there is just out of my stash. And look at that cute gnome. There is a whole bunch um, of just cute little gnomes. I think this is the first time I've ever had a gnome in my scrapbook. I can't say that for positive, but they're super cute. So I'm just spreading, well, first of all, I spread the gnomes around, and then I'm trying to get some embellishments in each cluster. I used the 2 tags where in the sketch was a tree. I did use my crocodile to put the holes in the tags. I'm going to use those banners up in the left-hand corner there. I figured it needed a little bit more of something there. There's a cute top hat. I had to use that. And the pinwheel, gets removed for a flag right now. Things are still going to move around a little bit. At first, I did think about not backing the photos at all on that white, but it really makes them stand off the page because most of them are so dark and with the dark background. All right, this is a Tim Holtz stamp, and I have Catherine Pooler Midnight ink. And then I use just a scrap piece of paper as kind of I guess you'd call it a mask. So I put the first stamp down, and then I know it's going to be too long um, going because I don't want it to go off the page. So I'm just going to bring my paper in to where I want the stamp to stop. Make a little bit of a mistake in that the little tail gets stuck there, but I'm going to fix that. I'm going to cover it up so that'll be okay. But it's not something that's in your face, but it is something that gives a nod to the sketch. And if I wasn't using this dark blue, you would be able to see it much better. But I think it still gives a little bit of interest. Once the stamping is done, I will get to gluing things down now that I know about where I want everything. Um, I haven't mentioned it for a while, so I use my ATG gun right there, and I think you can get them on Amazon. In fact, I know, well, sometimes you can and sometimes you can't, but recently you can get them on Amazon. And tapejungle.com is where I get my adhesive refills. And I figured it out. I got a whole case, which is a lot. You probably don't want a whole case, but each one comes out to be $1.08. I would encourage you to share with a friend or two because I have my own case and it's lasted me a couple of years and I haven't made a dent in it, but that's okay. They're each individually sealed and they do not go bad. So the other thing to mention is that photos to me look like the one on the left lower corner is 4x6, whereas the other three are 3x4s, maybe not 3x4s, even 3.5x5s. But when I laid them on down onto the double page spread, I didn't think my 4x6s took up really any more space, so I left them as 4x6. The other things is that you can tell I'll have to cut the photos because they're overlapping the seam in the middle of the page. And I took that into account when I laid down the photos. Um, it's not a big deal to trim through fireworks. I wouldn't want to do that through someone's face, obviously. So this will work well. The other thing is I use 3-ring binders so they don't exactly sit up next to each other, but you'll still be able to tell that they are fireworks. Here I'm going to overlap my tags, and I probably won't write anything on these tags. They're more for just decoration. I did, I have straightened up my scrapbook room now. It's not clean or organized in any fashion, but I do feel much better, much more comfortable in my room now. I'm not so I guess anxious about all the things being all over the place. Again, not perfect, but we're getting there, and it's more workable now. Uh, so the string from on the tags was just something that was still not put away that was on my desk, so that's perfect. I sometimes think, oh my goodness, maybe I shouldn't put all this stuff away because it's right here at my fingertips, but the more things that start collecting, the less you see things because they're piling more, and it gets harder to use, so it's better to get most of them put away. In case you're new here, I do put my layouts away in chronological order in my albums, but I don't work uh, exactly chronologically, if that makes sense. So I skip all around. I'm up to January of 24. So I skip all around without in the last year. So that's why you are seeing 4th of July photos right now, even though I still have some January pictures to to fill in, but that's okay. It makes it the variety makes it a little bit more fun. And I do try to go through photos and match them up to layouts that I might be using. Currently, I have photos printed until at least August, I think further than that, but at least August of 24. Moving forward, though, the plan for me is to use my printer as I need to print them out. So um, that will make much more sense for me because oftentimes in the past, this is going to sound terrible, but if I printed out a 4x6 and then I really want it 3x4, I would just totally reprint that. So I'm hoping that saves me time and money. So all of this on the layout has been from Scrap a Sketch, except for the stars. Did you see those kind of puffy stars? Those are Shadney. I will have that listed below as well. She has an Etsy store. She might be taking a break right now, so I'm not sure, but I'll have that listed below. And then those stickers that I just took and put on the two, oh, yeah, put on the two banners. It says stars, one says stars, one says stripes. Those were from a sticker sheet in my collection. So, and it all coordinates so well together. I do have more 4th of July pictures, a couple more. We went to well, on the 4th of July, we went to a parade and, well, then we went to a music festival. So that's already scrapbooked and not really red, white, and blue themed. So I will have maybe some parade pictures. You never know what'll come up next. Could be Christmas, could be, actually, could be New Year's for that matter. I'm got the 3 journal boxes there. They're sitting there. I'm gonna journal actually on camera. You can all fall over because I don't barely ever journal on camera, but the reason I did was I didn't know how many boxes I would need. So if I only had enough journaling for 2 boxes, I was just gonna put 2 boxes on there, but I did journal on all 3. I end up not having that little gnome hold the flag. There was just like too much going on there, and I loved that little hat, so that's staying there. I did bring the truck out. This was another thing that was on my desk. It says exist loudly. So loud fireworks, we can be loud. It's this baseball game. It was on my desk. It's white. Exist loudly it is. And then each of these clusters here got 2 of the puffy stars and one of the stars that were printables from Scrap a Sketch. Scrap a Sketch also has a Facebook group. They also have sketches. They actually also have um, stencils And I will have that all listed below. If you use my name, Brianna10, at checkout, you will get 10% off. And here you see me journaling. I think it's a zero point 0.3 pen. Works nice. And, ooh, I guess I could read it. So my husband usually does a journaling. He talks in the third person. So I said, Mom and Dad enjoyed going to a Sky Carp game in Beloit and not just when there are fireworks. Hope that makes sense. Usually they enjoy beer or an alcoholic drink and maybe some popcorn. This day was rather hot. And then the last one says, Can you believe that Mom actually brought some pictures to organize? She ended up keeping them under her seat and leaving them alone. Um, I multitask, so it is hard for me to sit in one place and just watch a basketball game. Um, and by organized photos, it might have been picking ones out for certain sketches or something that it didn't need me to spread them all out. Um, yeah, so I had good intentions. I don't know that I'll do that again. Who knows? Who knows what I'll do next? If I if I could knit, I would knit at a baseball game, but I always tell people I stick with paper. I am not getting into yarn or fabric. And never say never, but there you go. I will just glue these down now. And I do bring out, I have a Doodlebugs sheet of stickers that's got some borders. That's where I got that tab on the right that says July. And then I did also put one up on the cluster up on the left. That one says fun. I did think about putting that red tab on from Scrap a Sketch. That does not make it on the layout. All right, so now everything's glued together here, and I slide my trimmer in, and I'm just gonna go, I can line it up quite nicely, um, and then I will trim through it. Now I'm gonna be careful because I'm not sure if there's adhesive, really holding those photos down, so I check them out, and yep, they are adhered down, so I'm not going to worry about them. I thought about putting splatters on the outside where the frame is, and I decided I had enough going on, so this is the end for me. Stay tuned for close-ups at the end. Until next time, may your memories always have a home on paper.